Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Tonight is going to be a special video on a family dinner that is considered a comfort food. As fall is quickly approaching, it is comfort food season, and we certainly want to eat our comfort food, but we do not want to gain weight during comfort food season. So I am bringing you tonight a fantastic comfort food that is great for the whole family, kids included. I'm even going to include dessert in the video, so you'll get to see exactly what I would recommend as an option for a comfort food that is family friendly. Of course, I will include all of the classic points, points plus, and smart points on the screen. And I'm excited to bring this to you. I'm thinking I might actually make this into a series. So if you are interested in seeing several videos on comfort foods that are family friendly, of course, then please comment below. And if you haven't already, or you're new to my channel, please join my YouTube family and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time a new video is posted. And again, I would appreciate any comments and likes that you would like to give. So let's get started on tonight's comfort food for the entire family. For tonight's dinner, we are going to have darn good skinny meatloaf. My husband is very excited to have a manly meat and potato dinner. So here is what is in the darn good skinny meatloaf. So you'll need an egg, red pepper. I also have a green. I may use a little bit of both. A pound of lean ground beef, an onion, garlic powder, black pepper, sea salt, either bread itself diced up or breadcrumbs, barbecue sauce, Worcestershire sauce, yellow or spicy mustard. I'm going to use Cuban style mustard, and ketchup. And this is everything that will be in our darn good skinny meatloaf. All right, let's assemble our meatloaf. So the first thing we're going to do is add our pound of ground beef. This is all natural ground beef, but this is 90-10, or I'm sorry, 91-9. So it is going to be a little bit higher in points than if you were to add even a leaner beef, but I have figured this into the points for the recipe. We are also going to add in our breadcrumbs, which is 2/3 of a cup. And our chopped up vegetables are red pepper. And again, you could use green or yellow if you wanted. And then our cup of diced onions. And then we're going to add our egg. So it's 1 egg in the meatloaf recipe. So there's our egg. And then we are going to add our condiments. So for barbecue sauce, I'm going to use the G.H. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. And it is going to be 1 tablespoon of barbecue sauce. So I am going to eyeball this. I'm pretty good at eyeballing after all these years of cooking. So there is my 1 tablespoon of barbecue sauce. Next is our Worcestershire sauce. And that calls for 1 tablespoon. So again, I'm going to eyeball about 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. This is looking good. Look at all that good stuff in there. And then we've got our mustard. And again, it calls for yellow or spicy mustard, but I'm going to use Cuban style mustard. And it's 1 tablespoon of your mustard. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of my Cuban style mustard. So there's that. And then the last sauce ingredient is ketchup. And I have the sugar-free ketchup. So I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of that. My 2 tablespoons of ketchup. 1, and 2. And then we're going to add our spices. So our salts, and it's about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to then add our black pepper. And it is just to taste, it says. So we really like our pepper, so I'm going to add quite a bit of pepper. And the last thing we're going to add to the meatloaf mix is our garlic powder, and that is about 1/2 teaspoon. So there is our meat mixture. So let's get this all stirred together. Once everything is combined, we're going to go ahead and free form a loaf onto our cookie sheet. The reason for the free forming on a cookie sheet rather than putting it in a bread pan, the primary reason is the grease isn't able to just sit and get soaked into the meatloaf. It kind of drains out the side. So if you notice that in recipes, that's the reason why they say to freeform instead of cooking your meatloaf in a bread pan. So I'm kind of just mixing it up just a little bit more. And then I'm going to form a loaf shape. And you can do whatever you want. You can make it thicker. You can make it thinner, however you prefer to eat your meatloaf. So I always try to make mine kind of like a loaf of bread, essentially. So this is going to be similar to a loaf of bread, like a French bread. And then again, you can make it as thick or thin as you want it to be. But once you free form it on your pan, I always do mine on parchment as well, just because the cleanup is a lot easier. So there's my free-formed meatloaf. All right, once it's formed, you're going to add your sauce. So I went ahead and prepared my sauce. It is 3 tablespoons of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce, and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And of course, I will be linking the video in the description box below. And I'm going to take my baster, and I am going to baste the top and sides, if I have enough here, of my meatloaf. I do like to try to do the sides as well, just because I feel like it gives it that more caramelized feel through the whole meatloaf. And then when you cut those end pieces, they are so delicious because they are coated with the sauce. And it looks like I do have enough to go around and do all of the edges of my meatloaf. So see how I do that? I just kind of bring it around all the edges. It really just makes the meatloaf caramelized and oh, so good. I'm super excited for this. So there you have it. There's all my sauce. And there is our meatloaf ready to go in the oven. So I will show you what the finished product looks like. With our family approved hearty meal, we are going to have a side of the mashed potatoes. This is a huge time saver if you buy these already prepared mashed potatoes, and the calories and points aren't any different than if you prepared the potatoes yourself. They're really easy. You just put them in the microwave and you stir them up and you have mashed potatoes. This Bob Evans brand is actually my favorite. These are the original, but they already have milk and butter on them. So really all you need is a little salt and pepper and your potatoes are set. So we're gonna have this with our meatloaf, which is a staple with meatloaf. And we are also going to have a side salad. So a quick and easy side salad. If you already buy the lettuce that has the goodies in there, the carrots, the cabbage, it really speeds up cooking or preparing your salad for your family. So we are going to do the Italian style lettuce. And everything I have is prepared already and pre-portioned. So there is the real bacon bit. So we're going to add a little bit of those on top of our salad. And then croutons. Everybody loves croutons. So we're going to put some of those on our salad. We're going to use the fat-free shredded cheese, and that way it is 0 smart points. And then I always like to throw a vegetable on my salad. So tonight, since we have this on hand, we are going to add some broccoli. So let's get our salads put together, and then once our meatloaf comes out of the oven, we are good to go. So for our salads, the first thing we're going to do is just add our lettuce to our bowl. And I like to put a good amount of lettuce in there. Once you get the toppings on, you want to make sure, of course, that you have room to mix everything together. but I'm going to put a good amount of lettuce. One of these bags of lettuce I think can make about 3 salads. So there we have our lettuce. I'm going to top that with some of my bacon bits and 1 tablespoon. I will put the points value for 1 tablespoon of the bacon bits on the screen. So that's plenty, honestly, for a salad. It just gives that little bit of bacon flavor. And then we are going to add our fat-free cheddar cheese. And again, just a sprinkle, not even enough to count for points on any of the other Weight Watchers plans that this cheese is not 0 points. So just a sprinkle of cheese on our salad. And then we are going to add our broccoli. A trick with broccoli is put a rubber band around the bag. It keeps the bag closed and keeps the broccoli a lot fresher. So I'm just going to sprinkle just a few pieces of the broccoli on our salad. I do generally try to find the smaller pieces of broccoli. I think it just is a little bit better on a salad. And then the last thing that we are going to add is our croutons. Kids love croutons. I think pretty much everybody loves croutons. So a serving is 6, so I'm going to add 6 croutons to each salad. And again, the points will be on the screen for the croutons. And then the last thing I like to add before I serve my salad is some salt, or excuse me, some pepper on top. And then we will serve it with some low-calorie dressing. So there is the second part of our side dishes for our meatloaf dinner. All right, and here is the finished meatloaf. So it makes 10 slices, and each serving is 2 slices. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it into 5 slices, and then that way you would just give 1 of the 5 slices, and that would be the equivalent of 2 slices if we did do the 10 out of the meatloaf. So there is the meatloaf, and I'm gonna plate our food, and I'll be back to show you what our family comfort food dinner looks like. Okay, and here is dinner. So I have 1/2 of a cup of the mashed potatoes, 1 slice, which is the equivalent of 2 slices of the meatloaf, my salad with the Bolthouse Classic Ranch, and then diet green tea mixed berry as my drink. All of the points for Classic, Points Plus, and Smart Points will be on the screen. But this is a really easy, quick family comfort food dinner. So I hope that you enjoyed the dinner idea. Here is my dessert for tonight and the end of my comfort food for your family video. So this is a fantastic dessert for yourself, especially if you have children. It is one of the Keebler fudge dipped cones and 1 serving or 1/2 of a cup of Halo Top ice cream. This is the cookies and cream, but of course you can use any flavor. But this is a fantastic dessert, super easy, low points, great dessert for the entire family. I will list all the points here on the screen, and I hope that that helps you with some comfort food dinners and some comfort food desserts.